We're live. Hello, everybody.
What's going on, everybody?
Sit up.
Oh, it's been a long day.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tuesday. I've spent way too much time with Dan for the last 5 days.
Yes.
So, we are back. Dan and I went to Utah last Thursday. We got back last night, and we were out there for the We Are Rock Nationals West.
Yep.
And we had a blast. So today I brought in both my rigs, meaning that my suitcase was still packed, so I just brought it in with me. So today I told Dan he could put my stuff back together for me, and so that it gets done somewhat quickly.
It gets done, period.
Yeah, otherwise it'll just sit. Was it as muddy as BTC? It was not muddy. Last time Dan and I traveled together, it was a very different trip, but we did not have any mud or any rain, but we did have heat and wind
And smoke.
There were some wildfires in the area, which normally we get here, but check for batteries.
No batteries.
No batteries, because I was flying, so I took the time to put my batteries appropriately where they should be, so that I followed the rules. But we had a good time.
No batteries.
Okay, just double checking. I said that and I was like, I'm pretty sure I checked, but let's see. Hey guys, are your SLW hubs and clamping servo horn 6061 aluminum like the axles? Yes, the servo horns are made from the exact same material as the axle housings. The SLW hubs, also 6061 aluminum. It's just a different type of bar. Rather than an extruded bar, it's a cold finished round rod that they're made out of. So similar, but slightly different. Where's the driver? The driver was removed while we were waiting for the awards ceremony. I was sitting on the picnic benches with everybody, unscrewing everything, taking the drivers out.
He had a driver the whole
But I did have my drivers.
Yes.
Where's the Star Wars doll? Gone. I don't even know where it is now. It is gone. Yes. But it was good stuff. We had a good time, and we were there Thursday through Monday, but Monday was travel day, even though we did get some crawling in early before our trip. So we'll kind of go through some of that.
I think Monday was the best.
How does one get an H10 Origin interior like his? Oh, because you have a single side driver printed interior.
Yeah.
Where'd that come from?
Send me a message. I'll print you one and send you one.
Send him a message. You can find him on stuff, but that's not a very good way to answer watchers' questions. He's going to individually email every single person that. You're bad at the internet, Dan.
Oh.
But we all know that. Looks like you got some good sleep last night. Looked like you were oh yeah. So I got home yesterday and had to still film and edit a video and get that done. But I was done and in bed by the sun was still up when I don't even know the last time that was a thing for me. So, and I got a lot of sleep. So this is where it came from.
What?
Brandon?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then
I tell everybody Brandon made me that file.
well, you didn't when someone asked on the internet.
Well, I always tell them, just send me a message and I'll print them one, because I won't send them the file.
Well, I'm not sure about that, but there is some things like that we could probably look at getting. We've talked about doing like some STL stuff on
Brandon,
the website.
Aren't you supposed to be working?
He's good at shipping. That's all that counts. Yeah, right. Sometimes you got to wonder with this guy.
No, I'm not even good at that anymore.
Another week petitioning for HD44 diff, orange HD44 diff covers. Great question. When do you expect the F10 portal kits to be back in stock? Today, earlier this morning. That was early this morning. Those are back in stock now, along with a bunch of other things that were out of stock. So VRD builders kits are back in stock. VRD carbons are now back in stock. H10 optic builders kits are back in stock. VS410 Phoenix kits also back in stock. Stance RTRs back in stock. All of those are available now. So you can go check the website for all of those things, in case you hadn't checked. And also, use the shop app. You can use the favorite thing. You would have got a notification this morning. But, Josh, did you give Brandon his hat? Did I give Brandon his hat? I don't know that I saw it. Maybe I don't think I've seen it yet. Does he?
Which hat are we talking about?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Unless it's the Warren County hat that I already had, the Warren County Crawlers hat. I could give that one to him. It would fit him. Any date that you know in the clear H2 Hertz V2? Oh, the standard dig unit, not the VFD. I don't know that one. The VFD ones are back in stock. On my way to grab my hat. So yeah, though I don't know on the standard Hertz digs. I can't give you that answer off the top of my head. The VFD versions are in stock now currently. Are the carbon panels still mixed in the H10 kits? Yes, the carbon panels are available, or they're still mixed in the H10 optic kits, just like they were before. The exact same percentage, the whole thing. None of that is changing. It's exactly the same as it was. No difference. No less of a chance now than there was when they very first released anything like that. Can we get options to get kilos with the H10 optic kit? Probably not yet. The kilos will come up on the site for regular order before too long. We're just kind of working towards that, getting all the stock built up and ready for the full release. I gotta stop saying it that way, but they'll be available here before too long. We're working on that full blast, and that's the top priority. Any suggestions on the first mods for a new Stance V2 RTR? Got one for Father's Day. Congrats. Personally, I like a little bit more weight up front. So whether you want to do a set of wheels, or you can use the brass clamp rings inside of the stock wheels. Use the stock foams, the stock tires, everything. Just add the brass clamp rings. That's an option. And if you want, you can use the 21% overdrive set or the lightweight transfer case gears in the VFD to give you that 21% overdrive. And I like a little bit more overdrive than just the stock form. So I think that's a couple of good options there. And other than that, it'll be a great drive. Hey Clint, long time, right? Seems like just yesterday.
Did you
or
find
the day
all your
before.
trophies home, Clint?
Clint did super well out there. We had a fun time hanging out. And yeah, he took home a bunch of hardware.
I think he took home a trophy in every class.
Damn, yeah, I think so.
I think he did.
He brought trucks for everything. Which wheel are your guys' favorites? Josh and it. Oof. That's a tough one. I've got the impacts on here. This is a very Brandon combo. The black on black on black. Dan's got a set of the Battleborn Sierras there. I really like the Sierras as well. So between those two, the Impact and the Sierra are both some of my favorite. And that's fantastic. So every class and 2 in concourse.
Yep.
So let's see. Here we go. So will the kits and RTRs come with the shock rebuild kits so you don't have leaky shock out of the box? We do have, I think we posted up yesterday.
Yes.
On some of the updated shock parts and some of the new, I think the new vehicles you'll start seeing come out will have the updated lower cartridge stuff in them. Or you can put the new parts in any existing shocks to do that. Also, the new trucks that start coming with them, the plastics will be gray to help everybody know exactly what's going on. That was just like a small, they're the same plastics as far as that goes, other than some small tolerance changes to the top cap where the thread, the bleeder screw goes in. But it'll be an easy version, or an easy way for you to tell that stuff. Oh man. Comments. Did you get good footage from Mousetrap? We did get some fun footage while we were out there. Dan, myself, and Matt, we were all traveling together. We left super early. Dan woke up at 4 a.m. yesterday. And we went and met Logan from West Desert Wheeler at Mousetrap in Sand Hollow, a trail that he runs on his channel often, and ran through it. And it was a blast.
That's a challenging course.
It was. It was a lot of fun.
Just the entrances.
Yeah. Logan's run it a lot, so he was, he could kind of tell us where the lines, things like that. And once you get a shot through there and get some, it was fun. I ran my after the event itself, I was running my Rockabilly still, and it was great. I had a blast with it on there. Sorry if we're not gonna, comments are going fast, so we're blazing through. H10 battery suggestions. So if you want kind of like max runtime and a comfortable fit, I like the Genzace 3600 Adventure Pack. You can fit the 4300, but it's real tight. I suggest the 3600. If you want a little less weight and a more comfortable fit, you can use like a 2200 3S pack, and that's easy, comfortable. So there's some options. There's some options in there, so that you can fit that. Oof. Did you find out what the dog's real name is? The dog was such a sweetie.
Sydney.
It's an internet joke.
Matt still. I don't know if Matt knows anybody's name.
Oh, yeah. Matt was having a blast mixing up names.
Condor. Or Connor.
What's up with the Instagram reel today?
What is it?
I didn't see it. I can't help you with that. I did not see it. So I don't know. I guess I could open my phone and look.
No, never mind that.
But that wouldn't make for very...
No. We're just going to keep going the way we're going.
So, yeah, that is exactly right. Oop. We're going to fix that for us. Oh, oops, shoot. Bart, I accidentally put you in timeout. Oh, no. I'm very sorry. Bart, I will fix that. There was a different one that I meant to hit, and shit. I'm sorry, Bart. I'll figure out how to fix it. I don't know if I can do it right now, though. Oh no.
This is the most comments, I think.
I know. I'm sorry.
This is the comments are off the hook right now.
Bart, you can just text me any of your comments and I'll read them out loud.
Josh is doing one of these numbers right now.
How did the Rockabilly on the Rocks, Josh? It was great. Myself, Dan, and Matt all had our Rockabillys out. We all drove them this week at the comps and on the rocks, and it did fantastic. I had a blast with it. It did super well in Pro Mod. Well enough to absolutely spank Dan.
Matt.
And Matt beat Dan.
Matt finally listened for the first time ever and did very well.
You got... I'll fix it.
I can't handle it.
It wasn't even a brain part. It was just the comments were going, and I clicked on one to try and get the guy who was just spamming, and then it was... I'm sorry, Bart. So, yeah. Bart, log into a second one. I'm not even sure how to do it on here because it's not anyway. My bad. Can he no longer see the feed? I'll text him and apologize. I think he should be able to see it. I still think he'll let him comment right now. But how many times did Matt park on course? There was a few times that was still just be like, you got to keep moving.
Not that bad though. Matt actually did.
He listened, and there was much less yelling this week than needed.
In Pro Mod.
In Pro Mod 1.9 Unlimited, the first courses of the weekend, he was still in he had to knock the dust off still.
We have to teach Matt. This is passenger. This is driver.
Yeah, saying passenger and driver still doesn't work all that well for Matt. And when you're spotting, it's hard to say left or right because you're looking at it a different way, and it's just easier.
I got this under.
So this one, I did look at these today, but with everything that happened today, I was not able to get everything pulled. And we announced it super late at the end of last week's feed. So I was just going to extend that for a week with an apology on my own behalf. So there is some good ones starting in there. So I'm liking it, but I apologize that I didn't get that up early in last week's.
You just don't understand Matt's driving style.
Yeah, it's like call it like stop motion style. But
Nobody understands.
what's up, Logan? Patch is available yet? I'll get to that here very shortly. I'm almost through it. But VP Van Bart.
That's got to be the next one.
Oh man. So yeah. Oh, the memes this week were pretty good. Last week were pretty good. I liked them a lot.
Bart's favorite.
So don't worry. Our Josh Baby RC Crawler is. Oh man. I don't feel like I banned a lot of people. You must have done some stuff.
Teach you to come.
So anyway, I did bring in both of my trucks. Dan already put the wheels back on my Rockabilly here, but the Rockabilly is basically like a VRD in disguise. So it uses a VRD builder's kit underneath of it, and then it's custom chassis on top. But VRD skid transmission, it's got a stubby kit, F10 straight axles on there. Currently, this has got some brass knuckles from Deluxe on there. Again, F10 straight axle housings. I do have the aluminum third members in there. I think that's definitely one of my favorite upgrades to an F10 straight axle is doing the third members. Holds the gears super tight. Also, if you're going to use the BTA, the aluminum BTA mount, it holds everything in there nice and secure. So, and the suspension geometry on this is very similar to a VRD. A little bit different in the front, but very similar as far as positioning and all that. What servo are you running? This has got an 800 LP in it. So low profile Reefs 800 LP. That's kind of my normal choice for these buggies with the behind the axle stuff. Does the F9 Curry fit the VRD kit? Yes. Yes, it would. Or will it? Actually, it would be different because... So it wouldn't be a direct drop-in, no, because of the servo mounting and the geometry of the third member. So ideally, we've talked about it before. It is in the works. We're doing an aluminum version of the F10 straight axle here. So that would be the best choice. So that's how that would be best. So yeah, while the F9 would bolt in, you wouldn't be able to use all of the things, and so it's not the best way. Where can we get that cage? The cage is something that is you have to weld up yourself. This one I did, but you can. I do have like the files so that you can weld these yourself, but you do have to be into fabrication to do that.
They're super fun.
Yeah, Dan built his own. He's got one just like it, and then Matt did not build his own. RC Fabricator right here. RC Fabricator built Matt's cage for him.
I have one of each, and they're both super fun to build.
Is there a BTA mount for the F10T? While it is not specifically listed for the F10T, the standard aluminum BTA servo mount does bolt right up to the F10T. So
just has a small gap.
I haven't done it myself, but it will go on there. So how did you like the treps on your moon buggy? Well, they worked really well for me. Small point of clarification that while I do have the treps on a 2.2 wheel, In the rules, it does say that in the 2.2 class, you actually need to either run a 2.2 tire or a true cut and shut tire, which these are not. So I ended up having to borrow a set of wheels and tires, which were cut and shut Treps. And again, those did excellent. So
They worked well.
these worked fantastic. And the cut and shut versions of them also worked well. So in case you had needed one versus the other.
Once again, driver's door is clean.
Yeah, for some reason, like my truck took a pretty decent beating. It's got war marks around it, door, but this side is like perfectly clean. The panel doesn't have a scratch on it. The rocker barely has one little nick.
This one's both sides. You did good on this.
Yeah, that's because
The hood's clean.
that's how it works when I beat you in both classes.
Looks like you just did a real quick instant rollover. You didn't try to right yourself.
Those are just the Proline Treps. Yep, Proline Treps on that one. This one's got crawlers on it currently. I had the Yokohama. In 1.9, I ran the Yokohamas with the 475 Vanquish foams in there on a set of kilos. You know. Very similar height. I wasn't trying to run the smaller height Treps in 2.2 for an advantage. It's just I built it this way and then only realized like the day before we were leaving that I needed to get some actual 1.9s on there. And then I thought I'd just run it like that in 2.2, but I didn't
Same with this brass.
didn't read the rule. I knew I needed to paint my brass. I just happened to do it while we were in Utah. Are the 1.9 tires on 2.2 wheels an advantage? I wouldn't say so.
No.
It's just the style's cool. That's it.
It just gives you like a 20-inch wheel look.
Why didn't the F10 axles get the VVDs like the F9 portals in the Ultra? Mainly, we went the universal style in here gets better steering and it has better strength. So that is why we went away from the VVD style. Now we use the VDI universal style in all of them, just because we're able to get more strength and more steering, and overall just a better setup. So that's why we went to this direction instead. It was just what we thought would be what Brandon specifically designed, and what we agree was a great choice by Brandon. He did well. The F10s turn like crazy. They're hold up great. Overall, I think it's excellent. But I feel like my Treps didn't work as well as I would have liked. I think they must have done pretty well for you though. But I know you did have a few different tires and a few different courses there. The WRC Rock stuff, you have to run. You can only run licensed tires, which is a cool rule. I do like that. Are you bringing Dan to the Great Lakes Gauntlet with you?
There was so much
I'll consider
out there.
There
In certain places.
Yeah, so it's really interesting rock out there, and you'd have nice grip here, and then right here, no grip.
Yeah.
It's just right next. So if your truck they didn't look any different. So if you're trying to crawl here, it wouldn't work, and if you were here, it'd work fine. Whatever. Will F10 portal shafts fit in an Ultra? Nope, they are not backwards compatible. It is a difference in design entirely, so it's not a backwards compatible situation. They are different in its own way. F10 versus H10 on the axles. So the H10 axles are wider if you're just looking at them side by side. If you're comparing like an F10 straight axle, like is under the Rockabilly here, to an H10 axle, the H10s will be wider, and of course there's the difference in the actual steering setup with having the scale style hydro steering on it. That's going to be the big thing, is the steering difference, and then the built-in behind the axle servo mount that runs on the H10. So it does use different knuckles, but it shares some of the other parts. It's mainly just a width, some style, the servo mount being built in, that type of thing. Your Rockabilly is built off of a VRD kit. Yes, off of a VRD straight axle builder's kit. You could use a carbon as well. It doesn't use the rails or anything like that. It's just the drivetrain. So all of the drivetrain in this thing is basically a VRD kit, other than it's got straight links because you can't have bent links. But transmission, skid plate, the link lengths and geometry, all of that is the same as a VRD. So let's see. I hope to someday see a scale Nitto Ridge grappler. Yeah, I've seen those. I haven't seen a. Who did Axial had a trail grappler one time, right? But yeah, I never saw any of the new ones continue. What's your favorite 1.9 tire on the market? I run a bunch of different. It just depends. Different tires for different looks or different situations.
These worked extremely well out there.
Crawlers worked well. My Yokohamas worked well. Let's see. I guess those are the only two 1.9 tires. Technically, I ran the Treps too.
I ran the Treps, and they had a lot of grip.
Yeah,
Almost too much in some spots.
I never saw any. I mean, obviously, Dan had a lot of problems, but
I was upside down more than I was on the floor.
G8 or Predator. Oh, I never run Predator. Always G8 only. Where'd that go? When will the VS410 straight axle builder's kit be back in stock? It's going to be about a month still until those are back, roughly. But that's about when the VRD builder's kit, the Stance RTRs, the optic kits, all of those things are back in stock now, in case you were looking for those. That BTA on the F10 straight axle gets you away from the headaches of steering geometry on a servo on axle F10. The servo on top of the axle, I mean, the geometry is still pretty easy, but when you have a steel chassis like this, you just have so much more in the way that the behind the axle is just like it's like a cheat from having to worry about clearances and things like that. That's my preference on that for sure.
The buggies are hard because there's so little room to fit everything in.
Yeah. Yep. Oh man.
Everybody looks at this one, they're like, "Oh, you got all this room." No, because you have full interior.
Full interior. This has got a scale engine up front that's bolted to the front of the VFD. It covers up the spur gear on it.
Floor pans, everything. I mean,
Yeah.
There's not a lot of room. You gotta really. Where can I put this? Let's see.
Yeah, it's a lot of going back and
Trial.
forth. Will high clearance links work on the Phoenix? You can run a high clearance link on a Phoenix. Would the Stance rear links work on a Phoenix?
I don't think so.
No, they're the same as the H10.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have a high clearance link available for that, but you could put a bent link on there. I just don't have one for you exactly to go with. Progress Blue body alone time frame this week. They're here. They're available. They're waiting on me.
Yes,
but
they are.
We're getting through it. It's
you guys got to remember, we just got back.
Daniel, what's a quick question? Rebuilding my Phoenix Portal soon. What are your thoughts on brass hubs and brass rings on a wheel? That's perfectly fine. Actually, that's what's in this.
Yep.
This has got brass rings in the wheel, and I have brass hubs up front. Nothing in the rear. Standard aluminum in the rear, standard molded clamp ring in the rear. So that is how I've gone with that. I think it worked well. But yes, so this was my Pro Mod. Pro Mod is a straight axle vehicle with front steering only. I do have a dig in here, so that is one difference from the VRD drivetrain is I do have the VFD dig. While it's not directly normally compatible, a small spacer underneath of the mounts, it's about 1/8 of an inch, 3 millimeters, raises it up and it'll clear the skid plate. And the dig in here, it works great, makes Pro Mod a lot of fun. I like dig in like a trail rig or a comp rig. I like dig in just about everything. It's probably my favorite feature to have in a crawler. So
I don't know, rear steer's
rear steer's a lot of fun, but like for a trail rig, if I'm out trailing, I'd rather have dig than rear steer. And so, but the let's see my other buggy. This is my moon buggy, which you guys have seen previously. This has got F10 portals front and rear, and it's on rear steer, so you can see both ends doing their thing there. So then you have BTA axle. Well, I guess it's not BTA in the rear. It's in front of the axles.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
You have front and rear dig in this.
front and rear dig with using a modified version of the VFD Twin. This is like some prototype parts that Brandon had from way back, but you can buy a front and rear dig adapter for the VFD Twin from Colorado Adventure Club. So he sells one. Yeah. Is there an ideal weight for a four-wheel steer H10? Do you still want 60/40? It kind of depends on your style of driving and terrain, things like that. I still like a forward bias regardless of being rear steer. 60/40, in that vicinity is still perfectly fine. People are going to say, "Oh, I like 55/45 or 70/30." It's all just a bit of personal preference. You get too much and it wants to, go ass over tea kettle, as they say, when you're on downhills. 60/40 is a general pretty decent. 30 after, 330, very much. Appreciate you guys on the Facebook side for watching. If you want to catch the last half of the show, jump over to YouTube where we do the full hour long. Subscribe over there and then you can watch the whole show. But otherwise, if you're just on the Facebook side, I appreciate you guys for watching. We'll catch you next Tuesday. Wheel speed fixes it. Wheel speed can't fix everything.
No.
But it does help in some. You just got to be quick. But it's not always.
Didn't help me at all.
Can you explain the benefits of a front dig? Sure, absolutely. So, like I was saying, my Rockabilly here has a front dig. A front dig, what it does is it allows you to... Is there a battery in here? There's no batteries in here? Crazy. Check the vehicles. Oh, I've got my batteries. So, for those that don't know, a front dig is something that disconnects the drive to the rear axle. It can be a confusing name because, front and being in the rear and rear being in the front. Oh, upside down. I guess I really don't need to get the battery all the way in there. That's fine. So, in the normal position, it drives all four wheels like you're normally driving, right? If you go to dig, it disconnects the rear and then this locks, so you can't rotate it at all. Like as it's dragging the truck, the rears don't spin. And that allows you to turn and use the throttle, and it will basically pivot on one tire, making it like a zero diameter turning radius, very tight, or nearly zero, you know what I mean? The other thing you can do is if you're going for like a tall climb, if you're in four-wheel drive, sometimes it'll want to just flip you over backwards, where you go to dig and you can apply the power and just letting the front wheels work. And once you see that front tire start to bite and you can kind of see it start to wrinkle, then you click it into four-wheel while still using the throttle, and it'll just hook and drive. That's a very common thing, and that's something that just becomes kind of second nature when you've been running dig for a long time, and you can just do it naturally, and it makes your vehicle much more capable.
It's another tool in there or something.
Yeah. You can also use it for going downhill, like you lock the rear, and you can drive it down while just hold, like the rears are dragging. Makes downhill descents more controlled. So lots of things like that. You'll find more and more ways constantly to use it, but those three ways are super common and super helpful. All of which, you'll use on a comped course or a trail. So,
Yes, Tyler, I will be trying to make it back out there and so BYB comes.
Yeah, I need to get my trucks ready. I have a Sporty and a 2.2, but the stupid thought, but what about 4 independent motors? Is there something like that? There has been done before. It's just not there's a lot of things that when you try adding all that, you still need reduction, so you end up with complex things. And while you think you might be able to go to like half the motor size, a lot of times in crawling, all of the power is still being done by one wheel. So you almost need 4 times the power in a vehicle. So it's just one of those things that it's been done or thought of and executed many times, but never been super successful. What colors did Dan go with in his H10 Origin?
So my chassis is olive drab green.
Yeah, Dan got a special color chassis and clear panels.
Clear panels.
And then what'd you do for wheels? And
I did olive drab green wheels
oh, did you?
with, yes, I sent some in to get that.
Oh, I was like, when did we do that?
With acid etch beadlock rings to match the panels, and then I did a green rear cap for the axle.
Oh,
How fancy.
what radio is that? This is FSG11P from Fly Sky, which I've been running for a little while now and actually have come to like quite a bit. So, yeah, not bad.
How's that other one over there?
The other one, that was what my Pro Mod is on. My Unlimited is on my Radio Master, which is a super powerful but awful to use radio. But I didn't feel like moving all of the programming onto the other one. So,
It's a lot of work to set one of these up.
so because I was like a day before and I was just like, I don't feel like it, and I moved on. Yeah.
If you've never set up front, rear, and four-wheel steer on a buggy, it's a lot.
Yeah, front and rear dig, 4-wheel steer. Yeah.
Getting everything just perfect.
You know, it's like my servos are half hidden, so it just was like, eh. Now Josh's turn. Yes, I have not shown or said mine yet. No, the girls, Dan didn't send in anything. He handed a pile of parts, said, can you send?
Yes. Yeah, yes. Well, yeah.
Off the top of your head, Josh, what would my overdrive be for a mullet with underdrive gears up front and standard rear portal gears? If you have a regular 6.5 VFD transmission, you're going to be in the mid to upper 30% range. But, yeah. Tell Dan if I hear that ringtone one more time, I'm going to throw his... Matt, I could not agree with you more. Yeah, Dan has, for one, he has his ringtone on, because I don't know why. He's the only one around that I've been around that has their ringtone on. And it's the most annoying notification sound that just goes off constantly. It's the worst. Like, who has their notifications
They
on?
do it just to bug you.
No, you don't.
Yes.
You have your notifications
It's
on
off
all
now.
the time. Did you hit up any hot springs while in Utah? We did. Well, we had our own modernized hot spring in our Airbnb. So we had a hot tub that we were able to use, and that was great. But we did not hit anything else. Yeah. I'm not reading some of these. Kurt, I apologize. I did not have time to do all of that today, so we're going to take everything and roll it into next week. That's why I have the thing across the bottom there. If you want to jump into the picture game, use the hashtag VPTricks. Post your photos up with something fun. Something fun. Josh, any thoughts on making a dual motor buggy? I think so. I think I'll do it. Because in the 2.2 class, so I drove my 1.9 buggy in both classes. But if you run in 2.2, you're allowed to run basically a dual motor or dual transmission setup. It has to still be in the center, still has to be axle shaft or drive shaft to the axles. But you can have an independent motor for the front and an independent motor for the rear, allowing you to do like infinite adjustability of overdrive and an electronic dig. So, by shutting off the front or rear motor, you can control having dig. So it gives you some advantages with that. You're only allowed to do it one class, so I only had one buggy ready, obviously, but it is something that I would be into for sure. Did we already discuss score? We can only
Yes, Matt. I've already discussed what you beat me.
We can only theorize on scores so far, so we'll get to talk about it again. But yes, Matt did beat Dan in Pro Mod. Now, the amount of
It wasn't my best weekend.
The amount of
truck.
crap that Dan talked in advance of this event is why that is so important.
I think that's what got Matt to drive so well. Though.
Yeah, I think the amount of excuses Dan was trying to throw just was made for a pretty interesting time. So yeah,
I just sucked all weekend.
it was a good time, but it's a boomer thing. Yes, the notification sound, agreed.
Hey Matt, how'd that hood look when you got home?
Let's see. Thank you for the overdrive suggestions for my for 410 from a few weeks back. Got it installed. Really like it. Excellent. Where's the bathroom scale news? We were discussing. I needed to get home and film the scale news last night. We were discussing while crawling yesterday morning. Like, you should just do it in the airplane bathroom. It was such a short flight between Vegas and here, though. There was barely time, especially because I think I fell asleep for the first 20 minutes. Because Dan was just like, man, that first 20 minutes of that ride was super bumpy. And I was just like, I don't remember that at all. I was in a middle seat, too, so I was probably falling.
On somebody's shoulder.
The seats have the things that hold your head. Dan was sleeping in the car ride.
I did.
Matt and I were talking, just Dan, who's in the front seat.
Hey.
Those BBWs raw? Yes, they are on my buggy.
I don't think I'd had my drink yet.
What parts are needed to add dig into an H10 optic kit? Just the VFD Hertz dig. That's it. It comes with the linkage and any of the hardware that you need. It'll drop right in beyond that, and you're ready to go. So nothing beyond just the dig itself.
So if you go to Utah with Josh and Matt, you will be addicted to a new drink.
We took Dan to the dirty soda places. There's a chain called Swig, and we were explaining it to Matt on the way there that it's soda with cream in it.
It did not sound good at all.
And we'd never had it either, but we had seen it from the internet. And we told Dan we were going to go there. He had a disgusted look on his face.
Just
and
putting
then,
cream in soda doesn't sound good.
And then after he had it, it's all he could think
It's
about.
like crack.
He was on it. Is there batteries in those buggies still? No, there's not. And we missed you this weekend, Ivan. It was good to get to see James, but we missed seeing you there. I did ask him if you had already built your Origin. He told me it's still in the box. Get it built. So, anyone seen Bart? I'm sorry, Bart. I will not leave the computer off until I investigate fixing that for you. Yeah. Yes. Dan called it every other name.
Yeah.
Turns out the soda is pretty good. Thank you. We brought Wyatt one while we were at it.
That wasn't even a good one, Wyatt. That wasn't just an okay one.
Could you use an Origin for Wheat Rock? Yes, you could. You could run it in ProMod, where I ran this buggy. I think that would be where it would fit, right? Would there be any other classes where it would fit?
The Origin?
Yeah.
The street class. I think you can run it the same one as Clint ran the pickup truck, if I'm not mistaken. I think you can run that in it.
Yeah. So it definitely does fit. We want to see a Facebook announcement when Bart is back. Yeah. Oh, says the guy who hasn't built his yet. Okay. Fair play. Mountain Dew with milk sounds horrendous. That is exactly what Dan did.
I said the same thing. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, that's just disgusting.
It
is the best thing you'll have. They're like, we went there 4 days, okay? All 4 days.
Dan demanded it.
Dragon Dew. Just give me the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not changing. I found something that's good.
Yep, and that's all he could think. He got the same thing every time possible.
And then I find out there's one in Vegas.
And he's like, we could have had another one before
I
we
could have had
left.
another one before I got back. So I had to come home and order the stuff so I could make my own, which came today. I
Yeah.
stopped at 7-Eleven, picked up what I needed.
Let's see. Hi, greetings from Ecuador. My kids love your products. A lot of people keep asking me where to get it from. We have 2 Stance and 1 H10s. Have you paint your tires in the side? Because I did. Oh, like filling in the letters?
The letters.
That is a lot of, that's some detail work that is not probably on, it's not as much for me. But I have seen it done, and I have seen it look pretty good. Yeah. So now, as far as the best place to get Vanquish products in Ecuador, I don't know of any dealers in that area. I don't know what's easiest for you, but
Direct.
we would ship direct, I believe. And if not, you can send us an email, and we can definitely look at making sure that that is popular. Get ready to be broke. Swig will take your money.
No,
It was also very. It was
the next one.
pretty cheap. Yeah, justice for Mark. Had Ripper number 105 out at Scalefest Europe this weekend. Oh, that's rad. I didn't see a lot of social media this weekend just because we were obviously busy, but so I haven't seen any of the photos from Scalefest out there yet. But hopefully that was a good time. Usually looks like some awesome terrain out in that area. So can't even read some of these things. Ridiculous. I am just taking a quick look at some of my moderation abilities here to make sure. Where is?
Justice for Bart.
I'm trying to.
We're
I
trying.
don't even see. Where is Bart even banned?
Did it ban him for today?
I don't know. It only shows it in one spot. It doesn't show his name. Free. Can I edit here? No. Oh man. I'm sorry, Bart. Oh no. Alrighty.
Never
Well,
forget Bart.
yes. No.
Band guests, no band guests.
I don't. Yeah. No banned guests.
Does he just have to sign back in?
I don't know.
We will never forget.
Gone. I don't even know. So, definitely going to have to be an investigation. I apologize. I programmed 3 BCs, don't even get a creamy soda. Wow. Listen, you couldn't even approach Clint before the finals. Okay, he was over in his own, just zoned out. No, he didn't want to talk to anybody. So we couldn't even approach. But yes, Clint did come to the rescue because this truck, and Matt's Pro Mod, we had not programmed our BECs before we left. Got there, realized that, and went, ooh. These servos don't feel like they should because they're on 5 volts.
Yeah.
So
I don't think you would have wanted anything anyways, Clinton. You were focused way too much on I would have taken your focus away from your driving.
how many times did you have to yell at Matt? No, your other so many times.
Oh man.
Constantly.
Slowly, Matt. Wide open. Just squeezes it.
It was everywhere. How do you guys prep for events like Proline by the Fire? So a lot of my prep for an event usually is more about like what we're taking for display, especially for Proline.
Yeah.
But like for an event like this weekend, say where I'm going to attend and actually drive, things like that.
He throws it in a suitcase.
My
and hopes for the best.
cars were, I thought, ready. They were close, at least. I have my, I should gnat around my face. Anyway, I grab my radios and my lipos. If you're flying, then, or even if you're not, a lipo bag, lipos in your lipo bag, and your lipo bag has to be in carry-on. You cannot check any lithium batteries. So if you have lithium batteries in your radio, you need to make sure that you have those in carry-on as well. or your entire radio like I did. My tools all go into a Milwaukee bag, and I check that because tools longer than 7 inches have to be checked. No jokes. Knives, anything like that, you of course can't have on the plane. So that stuff all goes in checked bag. I carry on my vehicles. So this was in my backpack with the wheels off, and then the moon buggy and all of the wheels and tires and my radios were in my carry-on roller bag. So, because my cars are the most important part for the trip. I can replace clothes, things like that. So, that is the route that I go with that, and that works best for me. If you're driving, of course, it's considerably easier. But and I'm better than I used to be. We didn't have to yell nearly as much.
Still had to yell a lot.
Any fun trails you can recommend in the Sierra Nevada to take a crawler out? Oh man, so many. Daniel. I have pins that I can give you that are some great spots. Close enough, especially on the 80 side. Although, what is the Catfish is one of my favorite. What's the one that goes up by Kirkwood? Is that the 188?
I think so, yeah.
That is my favorite area. Silver Lake area, things like that. I love that. Josh, you find the hard Mountain Dew anywhere? I have not looked. No, thank you. July teeth, Ben. Oh, jeez. A satchel would be helpful. Like all the things that are in my pocket, I was thinking I could really use a satchel. I think that would have been.
I'm so glad you don't. No.
PP should go bark the creek. Will there be videos of your guys' runs on your channels? Yes. Matt and I both recorded all of our runs, so we have all of that. We also did just a bunch of the other stuff we were out doing, all that kind of thing. It was...
If you've never traveled with two YouTubers, let me tell you, you're walking into a restaurant and all you hear is somebody behind you talking to themselves.
But not obnoxiously to anybody in the area. We're very respectful to people around us. We're not like...
Walking into Walmart, Josh is vlogging, and here comes some old guy. He's looking like, who are you talking to, sir? Greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
I just smile and keep walking. Josh buying action figures at Walmart was quite amusing too.
I was not happy to be having to buy action figures.
Matt knows right where to go. Josh has no clue.
We already know what videos are going to have better video recordings. Yeah, mine will have the better video because Matt is concentrated on taking good video. Matt's will have me, who's half concentrated on yelling at him, so the video goes down and then it's back and it's. He really gets the worst end of the stick.
I just judged. I was dude.
You judged or were walking and wandering away somewhere.
I judged for both of you so you guys could video each other.
Yeah.
Kind of a big deal t-shirt.
Yeah. It is fun to travel. And I think the videos usually do better when it's kind of a mix of what we were doing and the crawling. We also did a night crawl the night before was it before the 1-9 day? 1-9 Unlimited day?
Yes. We took these out.
We took the Rockabillys out that night, and as a trail truck, this was I think it's probably my favorite trail truck now.
It's super
if I'm going on a trail, I'm taking this thing. That's for sure. So.
Bart must have leaked something.
I think my screen is covered in sunscreen, though. I just noticed that. I was like, oh, this looks really terrible.
Yeah, my neck's still a little tender.
Sunscreen was needed. So, Dan, I saw a video of your 2.2 just mowing down a berry.
Hey, you got one freebie. That was my one touch. They say you get one free. I said, I'm taking it.
Creature was Was crawling with Logan better than the event? Crawling with Logan was a great bonus, for sure. We didn't get to crawl for very long, though, because we had to get Matt to the airport. I had some very specific scheduling that I had walked through with Matt to make him not so worried that I was going to make him miss his flight. And
Josh's scheduling is scary sometimes.
it's good, though.
He is.
I know exactly how long to take, and I can get you right then.
But if you need 10 minutes to do anything, don't do it.
So it worked out well. We got him there 20 minutes early, even, I think. We're close to it. So, yeah. Let's see. Dan came in clutch catching Matt's buggy on the first course.
Off the side of the 4 or whatever.
Oh,
it was.
that big tall. Was that the side of 1?
Was
Oh, gate 4,
Yeah, gate
course
4,
1.
course 1.
Yeah. There was a couple of big
Everything was up high. If you made the wrong
there
move,
was a lot of places to make some really big mistakes if things went wrong. It was definitely there was definitely punishment if things didn't go correctly. So you had to, but you know what? It was great all around. I really had a blast.
Versus reward.
Sunday was Pro Mod and 2.2 Unlimited, and Sunday was a perfect weather day.
Yeah.
It was fantastic all around, and it really made for just an awesome end to the event. Yeah. So what I hear is Vanquish Fest. Hey! How? It must have like timed out, and he's back. See? Or he has a second account. Either way, I'm glad he's here.
It was all his fault.
It was definitely my fault. So what I hear is Vanquish Fest. Vanquish Fest. It is so much work to put on an event. We just do not have the people to do it.
Little crawler events are enough work. You try doing an event for hundreds of people.
It's wild. We have some local events here and there, not as the company, just in general, and it's a lot of work. So that's the big thing. Oh my god. So yeah. So for now, no, Vanquish Fest is not in the cards. One day down the road, we would love to do it. Like, we would absolutely love to do it. But right now, it's not. It is not something that we're going to be able to do easily. Can I hand part to Carlos? Oh my god. You guys have 2 minutes left.
Too funny.
So if you have anything, if you have another one for Dan, I won't allow him to be back on the show for another 6 months at least.
Yeah,
He has to go home and take a nap before he can come back for this.
I didn't go home and take a nap. I went and got a Mountain Dew. Way better.
Yes, hopefully Bart was able to watch while he was banned. Oh God, yeah.
I have been free at last.
Will brass shifters be available for the Rockabilly? Robert, you can maybe I'll be able to make you one just for the amount of
It's gonna say Harley, just like this one.
yeah,
does.
just for the amount of shit that I've given you over the years. But yes, the brass shifter on top of the VFD in there is one of my favorites. Big ol' hoon handle.
I think you should have done these two in brass. Your cutting brakes.
Nah,
You left your
the big one. You gotta have
left
the
your
big.
shifter.
All right, if you have any questions, you got about 60 seconds. You clicked that by accident. So tell me more about the cream soda. You can look up the recipe on YouTube. Buggy Comp next month in Reno. Yes, we will be up there in July at the full-size We Rock event. There will also be We Are Sea Rock at Moon Rocks. Will be my first time at Moon Rocks.
Really?
Yep, never been.
NorCal
So,
is going to be...
I'll try and get that information and throw it in the Scale News or something like that.
Okay.
So yeah. Did Matt lose to a girl again? I don't think so. I don't think I saw any.
I don't think she ran.
She didn't run in 1/9 Unlimited or Pro Mod.
No.
So, she definitely would have beat him in the trail buggy class.
Yes. Yes.
She was in the finals.
She did extremely well.
They had come all the way from the Miami area.
Yeah.
So.
Super nice people.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, it is 4 o'clock. We appreciate you guys all for watching, and we'll see you again next Tuesday. See you then. Later.